Hello, beautiful ones, wherever you are and whenever you're listening to this. It's like to assume someone will listen to this in the future, hopefully, and it'll be of assistance to them. So today I want to talk about the memories that I have of coming to Earth and before I came to Earth. And the process that I have been through that is an ascension for the body, but it's almost like my being, my spirit is already there. It's the body that is going through the ascension. It's the density. So it's like we're already this beautiful, whole, complete self, already existing in our purity and our love. But we come here and we choose to have these experiences and choose to be of service or choose to grow through the experiences. And I thank you all for being here wherever you are. Bless you and thank you. So my experience, I would say, started with maybe meditation. Although when I think about it, I guess it started long before that. But meditation was a big thing for me. I had tried it out when I was a teenager, and I really enjoyed it, actually. But I kind of stopped, doing it for a while, and then I started again. And during these meditations, I would start to have memories of being in other planets. Also during this time, I started to sense here beings that I guess the closest thing they could be would be guides. And in the beginning, I thought, what's going on with me? Am I crazy? But I guess what helped me with that was that the beings that I felt and that were communicating with me were so loving and were comforting and soothing in a way, and they were letting me know that they were just here to help me, that they weren't judging me. Apparently, I had known them for a long time, and they started to come through. And then, like I said, I was having meditations of where I was going to other planets and seeing beings that were not human, and seeing myself as not in a human form. During this period, I was privileged enough to have someone that I was able to speak to who was also had something like this happen to them, and found out that there were other beings that had remembered or having similar memories than I was, and that was really encouraging. So, but it was definitely a rough time. A lot happened. It took a lot for me to. It felt like for me to accept it and to be here, even to be able to talk about it to anyone about it. It's taken me a while, but one of the memories that I have is coming to Earth, and that one was a really cool one because I remember in particular the memory that's very vivid to me is I was sitting. It was like a grassy area, and I felt like we were kind of elevated. We were like in a higher place, like higher in elevation, and we were sitting. There were many of us in different forms. I remember my looking down at my feet, and my feet were like, they were longer, and they were different. They were a different color. They were not human feet. And looking at my hands and just looking at myself, and just kind of like it, just embodying that and feeling what I was feeling in that moment, and what I saw was so much. So part of it was that there were many beings from all over the place, many different shapes. Some I knew, some I didn't know. And they were all like me, very, very happy, very excited to be coming to Earth. We had worked really, really hard to come to Earth and to come and do what we are doing here and now. We worked really, really hard for it. So all of a sudden, we're sitting here very happy, and we stopped talking because there's this source of light. I'm not really sure what it was. It was it wasn't like a sun, I don't know, but it was like a type of light. Just started like talking to us, and it was almost like the light was like radiating to us, and that was like talking to us. It wasn't like speaking actual words. And what I realized is that we were receiving like instructions. We were receiving a lot of encouragement. We were being guided also through this instructions. But it was a lot of things that I even now I can't fully recall all of it, and I don't even know if I could translate it. But I remember that, and then I remember coming in and out of, this thing sounds so weird, I guess the fetus. Yeah, just the baby inside my mom's belly, coming in and out, and in utero. And I remember that the environment that where she was, there was a lot of alcohol abuse, and there was a lot of violence, and there was a lot of yelling. And so I do remember coming in and out, and I remember coming in and just coming in and just radiating a lot of like healing light to try to calm down the, the fighting, I guess, the try to bring some peace to the environment. But that's pretty much the end of it. I do remember that, like I said, we did have to train a lot to be here. I remember that we played out scenarios of what things, like how we would respond to certain things that that we were anticipating would happen. And at the end, some of the messages that I brought back was that there was a lot to do, that the mission was going to be quicker than I realized, that time was an illusion, that all was happening in the blink of an eye. So after that time, and I'm not sure if that would have been sometime in maybe 2013, 14, I started just receiving instructions. But meanwhile, I was also living my life, and I was going through all these different changes that, divorce, having a parent die, transition, and just a lot of upheaval, a lot of changes, and a lot of ups and downs. It seemed like I would peak, and then I would kind of go down, and then I would peak, and I would go down, and things would come up that I was healing, and I thought that they were over, and then that they weren't over, and then it was just felt like this like repeating cycle, and I learned a lot through a lot of that, and realizing the blessing of the different experiences that we have, the blessings of the relationships, the blessings in each and every moment, how we can learn and how we can expand through those experiences. But during this process, I felt like I was being restructured and reworked. A lot of who I thought that I was changed. In particular, I remember periods of feeling like my brain and my heart were being reworked. I remember a lot of things changed about me. The way that I ate, even the way that I judged, the way that I ate. Also, the TV, the things that I wanted to watch, the things that I was attracted to, the people that I wanted to be around. A lot of things started to change. I started wanting to do more things for others, and trying to assist my brothers and sisters around me, because I realized that we were one, and that I needed to help out those around me as best as I could. And I went through periods where I was doing good, and I went through periods where I almost buried myself, like in the recent period that I had, and I had to work towards, I guess, rebuilding myself again, and working hard, but at the same time being rewarded, realizing that I was being assisted. And so during this period, there was something that I wrote that I wanted to share. And one of the things that I wanted to share was something where I wrote, this was, I think, sometime in 2014. And I wrote that I am a visitor to this plane, but not to this planet, for every planet is my home. All have lives in different dimensions, universes, planets, star systems. Upon entering the human body, we all agreed to forget that we were living multidimensionally. We switched to a linear experience, but didn't stop living multidimensionally. We switched to a linear experience but didn't stop living multidimensionally. That's important. Many of us have arrived under different circumstances. We arrive with a different blueprint. Our task is to assist with the process of remembering self. We come in times of need, each doing service as much as we choose. We are especially helpful during this time of shifts, and this is a big one. A whole planet and her inhabitants at a low and dense frequency, growing from forgetting to remembering. We are literally recreating ourselves in every moment we exist, mirroring our source self by recreating through experience and expanding. It's as if we become more of what we are, the one and many who has always been us. Since we forgot, we made a fictional character, a fictional self, which was also us, but limited, fearful, unashamed. You can go on with the list. Truly, this is not who we are. So that was one of the things that I wanted to share with you, that I didn't fully understand when I wrote that, what any of that even meant. I was just writing. I started writing a lot during that time. I've always actually written a lot, but during that time, I started writing a lot because I had stopped for a while, and some of the things that were coming through were like, it seemed like a lot of instructions. It was like a lot of reminding myself, and a lot of what is probably going to be going on with a lot of you, and what is going to continue to go on with me even, is this reworking and this restructuring. Again, remembering of who and what we truly are, our power, our love, remembering that we are powerful, that we are being assisted. And it does take time, and it takes patience to be able to adjust to the changes that we're all going through. I remember, seeing when I first started, realizing that the colors all of a sudden became really bright, and everything just became really beautiful. And I would meet people, and people were just really nice everywhere, and I was just filled with so much love and so much gratitude. And then, I would go through periods where I was like not feeling so good. Maybe I was going through a period of healing, where I would cocoon, and just learning to be compassionate with yourself, learning to support yourself in every way that you can. So I'm gonna stop here. I will continue to share the experience in hopes that it may assist others. A lot of the changes came about slowly, some came about fast, and some I didn't even realize. It's like when you're entrenched in it and when you're really in it, sometimes it's hard to see it. And then once you come out of it, like you see the bigger picture, you're like, oh, okay, I see it now. And it's interesting because you realize the gifts in each and every moment. You realize that the gifts and opportunities and the catalysts that different experiences serve in our lives. And you realize how things are just perfect. And I love you all. You have a beautiful now wherever you are. Bless you. Goodbye.